Welcome to the Women's Hoop Show. This is your playoff preview. We're going to preview as much as we can for you. The teams are locked. The bracket is still up for determination. A lot is going down to the wire, but we're going to preview everything as we head into these knockout rounds. Plus, I've got a very special treat for you at the end of the show, and I think you'll find it super fun. Hint, it includes my mom, but you have to find out more about what it is, and you'll have to keep listening to hear that. A lot to get to today. Let's jump in. Autumn. Here we are, the end of the regular season. It's here. How are you feeling? We made it.
Oh, I'm feeling really good. We finally made it. It took a minute, but we're here. There's been a lot of chaos, and I don't think that chaos is going to settle at all. Like, we are just getting into the thick of it. So I'm ready for some games. I'm ready to see how everything pans out. I think it was Bleacher Report or maybe ESPN. They put out what the scenarios would look like. And I just got excited because there's not a bad matchup on this bracket. I can't wait.
I can't wait either. And you know what would go perfect with all this playoff, excitement? And as you're going to be sitting on your couch rooting for your favorite teams, some Women's Hoop Show merch.
Yes.
That's my plug. That's my plug for the day. You got to hurry up and get it before it's gone. The lavender tee that I'm showing right now is our hottest item. So you got to get it. Run, don't walk, and get your Women's Hoop Show merch. We got hoodies. We got hats, water bottles. We got shirts, Hoop Root shirts that I can't wait to get my hands on. Hopefully it's in the mail right now. But the pre-order window closes September 16th. So you're running out of time. Go. Go to shopwomenshoops.com right now and grab your favorite thing. So we can all rock it together during the playoffs because we're a unit. We're unified as we are going to be stressing.
Yes, a community of stress for sure. Jordan, that's why I texted you because I needed the lavender shirt. I ordered that immediately. So I'm going to be rocking that. And I love how it's universal too. Like Women's Hoops, you can rock it during the WNBA, college basketball.
Yes.
I'm ready year round. So we're good.
Year round. You got the t-shirt for the warmer and then you got the hoodie for the colder months. We got you.
There we go.
All Women's Hoops all the time. Okay. Shopwomenshoops.com. Make sure to go there. If you've been putting it off, now's your time. Go now. All right. Autumn, as we are recording this, Thursday morning, there is a lot that we don't know about the playoff picture. But we are going to focus on what we do know. One thing that we do know is the 8 teams that made it into the playoffs. Yes. I was biting my nails on the edge of my seat on Tuesday because it went down to the wire. The scenario of, and we talked about it last episode, that Seattle had to win to get it. They had to win, and LA had to win against Phoenix if Seattle lost, and then LA had to win again on Thursday against the Aces, and it was an uphill climb. But the Sparks came out. Like, they did their job. They beat Phoenix, and I think we were all like, watching the score. I had the Seattle game on my TV, but Seattle somehow pulled it out and were able to get that win to grab that 8th spot. What were your thoughts about that? I want to call that the Erica Wheeler game because
for sure
turned it all the way up. Man, what a great game that was.
Jordan, I was screaming at my TV. Like, I had the multi-screen up, so I wanted to see what was going around. All the games were at 10 o'clock, so I'm like stressed out all together anyway. It was insane to see just Erica Wheeler know the assignment and deliver at a timely manner. 17 points, coming from Erica Wheeler off the bench, 32 minutes, 5 for 7 from deep for me. Like, she was relentless. It was timely. They found her in her spots. It was in rhythm. Nothing was rushed, but clutch. Like, even in the mid range, finding pull up opportunities. She was everything and more for this team. But it wasn't just this game. Like, throughout this entire season, when the Seattle Storm have been on a roll, it's always been Erica Wheeler calling her number and knowing, like, I can make these big time buckets. So shout out to her. I think that's what this Storm team needs throughout the entire course of the playoffs, knowing who they might go up against.
It was the clutch moments for Seattle have been questionable. Yeah. And I think this was something that needed to happen over the Valkyries, over a team that has bested them and a team who is really clutch all season long. I think Seattle just really needed this win, and I'm so happy. It was also, I want to point out, Messy Bun Skyler as well. She gave, she came up with, her tunnel walk was a jacket full of milk. I have so many questions, but it worked. It worked.
It rocked it. Nothing, Skyler. She can't do anything wrong to me in my eyes. I'm like, yes, pop off.
Sure. Why not? Why not? But that got them in. And so that was allowed us to kind of secure the 8 teams in the last week of the regular season.
Crazy.
We also know that Minnesota is going to be that number 1 seed. And in a second, we're going to go through kind of our final questions for each team heading into the playoffs. But the matchup right now, as of Thursday morning, that we do know will happen, which I am so excited about, is the Phoenix Mercury at 4 and the New York Liberty at 5. Let's talk about that, because what a first round draw if you are either of those teams, because I think Phoenix has worked really hard and they got home court advantage. They got 4. Maybe definitely would prefer an easier first round. And then New York somehow staying afloat to number 5. They also are getting a tough first round. And then, it's waiting for them on the other side. If either of these teams win, most likely they're getting the Minnesota Lynx next. So they got to get through this first. Don't look too far ahead. But kind of what are some things that stick out for this matchup in particular between Phoenix and New York, and how this could kind of play out?
Yeah, I actually went through all 4 games to see how they panned out this season. In the Mercury, obviously they've beaten New York 3 times throughout this stretch. But game 1, no call. The Mercury won still 89-91. That was back in May. So it's like, okay, I take it with a little grain of salt with that game. Cool. Okay. Game 2, no Jonquil Jones. Mercury won 106-91. JJ's a huge piece to what the New York Liberty do. Like, finals MVP of last year, the length, the size, the positionless basketball she plays, no question, no doubt. Like, that was a huge factor of why they lost that game. Game 3, no Catherine Westbeld, which isn't a big name, but a huge piece to what the Mercury do. When you think about the 3 ball, what she can do, that big size that she brings from the guard position, I think that in itself plays a lot when Liberty won 89-76, not far off in that matchup whatsoever. In game 4, what we recently saw, no Sabrina. Mercury won 80-63. So we haven't seen these 2 teams face off full strength. And the New York Liberty sitting at 5 is insane to me, because they're not supposed to be in this position at all. Right. Injuries have derailed their entire season, and I just can't see them not walking out of this matchup. It's definitely going to be a battle. We might get to game 3. In fact, I'm going to change that might to it seems very likely we will get to a game 3. I don't see them not advancing. Like, with the playoff experience, 1 through 5, the bench, the others, everyone, knowing what's at stake, being in those moments. I can't say the same exactly for the Mercury. Yes, you have the experience of Ka, Alyssa, Satu, DeWanna Bonner when it comes to playoff experience, but there's a lot of rookies on this team. There's a lot of first year players who haven't been in this moment together, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
New York Liberty, they have. So I
Mm-hmm.
think that's going to be their advantage. Yes, the Mercury get home court advantage, and this isn't a position they want to be in when it comes to the Liberty. But I really feel like with that experience, that's going to give them the edge. And it's always been effort. It's been hard. It's been just not putting a full 40 minutes together for the New York Liberty. But now it's like, all right, y'all, lock in. There's no playing around. This isn't a regular season game. We know it's at stake. I think there's going to be a different level of play coming into this one.
I agree with everything that you said. I think of, the last game, the Liberty were at full strength. They beat the Mystics 75-66 on Tuesday. And it was just this preview of like, hey guys, remember how to play with each other? Like this is how good we can be. And they have that again tonight going up against the Sky. And I think when normally maybe if you're already locked for the playoffs, you might rest your stars, but this is an opportunity for them to be like, no, can we get some reps together before we head into the playoffs? And I think that's super important. Add all of the factors that you said, and I would add this element of the Liberty are pissed that they are where they are. I think they are really upset. We talked about it the last episode with Kendra, this idea that they clinched the playoffs on a loss. Like that's kind of been their season this so far, like you've kind of been in these situations by default, especially because of how great you started the year. So they're upset. You are finally healthy. You have a team that you know that you can beat, that you've beaten before. I agree. I have New York coming out of this. I think it's
right.
It's a seed. It's a seeding thing that you kind of have to ignore. You have to look at the matchup itself. But I can also see Alyssa Thomas not
going
letting
off.
that happen.
Yeah. And how poetic with all these MVP conversations going on to just make a deep run. And then having Minnesota on the side of your bracket, like, no, I am every single year one of the most valuable players in this league. How poetic would that be? I am not counting out the Mercury. They have the personnel needed to make a deep run. In fact, they were out of the playoffs last year. For Nate Tibbetts to get this group where they are today is actually incredible. No one has played with each other except for obviously DeWanna Bonner and Alyssa Thomas.
Yeah.
And they're sitting here hosting at the 4th spot. You can't say enough about what they've been able to do in one season together. So I'm not counting out what they can do. Having everyone playing their best basketball right now with Ka, Satu, the big three, adding DeWanna Bonner during the during the midseason trade. But man, it's going to be a tough battle. I can really see this going to game 3 for sure.
Let me ask you this, because you made a really good point. This is their first season of this iteration of this team. For New York, this is not. This is kind of, you don't have Sloop, but this is the core group. Is there, when we talk about pressure, and I think that's going to be a theme throughout this whole show, but is it less pressure on Phoenix, even though they are a higher seed, to be successful now? Like, is it going to be more of a pass if they don't make it past New York to say, well, it was just their first season. Like, they're going to come back next year, hopefully, if all of these free agents stay on this team, then they're going to come back and they can do it again. Or is the storyline more New York is in win now and they have to get back to the finals because this team has been formed for success?
All the pressure in the world right now is on the defending champs. There's no question about it. New York Liberty has the biggest target on their back, and they shouldn't be sitting at number 5. Like, to me, the pressure goes on more so the Liberty, and the fact that the Mercury just assembled this team together, and this is where you guys are sitting now. We have something special here. I could see majority, if not all, of these players coming back, maybe grabbing one more piece to really take this to the top. But the pressure is on the Liberty. Like, they're not going to just be happy to be here, obviously, for the Mercury. They're going to try to make some noise to make a deep run. But to go back to back for the Liberty, that was a non-negotiable for this team. That's why you bring in the pieces that you did. That's why Natasha Cloud joined this team to win a championship. You have the personnel, you did it, you've seen it. Now you try to take it up a little notch further, adding Emma Miesemann in, just trying to put it together at the right time. Like, they are actually not exceeding the expectations they thought they would. And so that, to me, if I was on the Liberty, that would be the dagger to me. Like, we didn't do what we were supposed to do this entire season, and now it's caught up with us. That's on us. You got to practice and also execute championship habits. And all season long, we haven't seen a full 40 minutes for them. So for me, when I think about pressure, it's the Liberty, the defending champs.
Pressure.
Woo!
Ew, they say it
Pressure
makes diamonds.
Diamonds.
Yeah,
yes,
we'll see.
Damn. We'll see. We'll see.
I let's continue this pressure conversation, and let's roll into going into each team and the questions that we have remaining. We know that the Minnesota Lynx are clinched. They're at that number 1 spot. They are, waiting to see. By the time this airs, they'll know exactly who they're playing. But for the Minnesota Lynx, last season, no pressure. Nobody was talking
Just
about
vibes.
the Lynx. It was like, how the heck did Cheryl Reed put this team together? Wait, this team's actually working out. This is going great. Oh, wait, they're doing really well. Are they going to win? Like, it was that type of question marks around statements around the Lynx. This season, no. We all know under a microscope, we know that you guys are really, really good. And now it has this stigma, this caveat of it's your title to lose. So when we talk about pressure, when we talk about the target on their back, is the target too big? Is the moment too big for the Minnesota Lynx? That's my question. I'm just here to ask the question.
We're about to find out. We're about to find out real soon. We're about to
really
see.
soon.
Very soon. I don't know if they technically have the pressure because they haven't won anything. I always think the pressure goes to the defending champs. Like, all the pressure right now should only be on the New York Liberty. But they haven't won anything. Yes, they have a great team. It's been the number 1 team, and it's a huge gap from everyone. But what else when it matters? Like, I think if you can execute every single game, every single series throughout this stretch, you've done what you needed to do. You assembled the team that you needed. Last year, we just saw this team for the first time, and it worked. It clicked. A lot of role players buying into their role. Now, this is the season that you're putting it together. It's supposed to be this situation for them. It's supposed to be the number 1 team. Like, you have the chemistry, you have the time together, you know where your teammates like the ball and where they like their shots. Like, it's 2 years in the making now. So I feel like right now they are exactly building on the trajectory they're supposed to be on. There's no pressure. The assignment is just to win it. It's to win it. But if you don't, the only pressure they're putting on themselves, only pressure is coming from themselves because they know what they can do. But it's not technically like, the Minnesota Lynx didn't win it all. To me, it would go towards New York Liberty.
Wow. That is so
What are your thoughts?
Excuse me. I think being in first place all season adds to that pressure of like, oh, you could do it in the regular season.
Mhm.
but you weren't able to do it in the playoffs, and
Mhm.
you aren't able to do it when it mattered. I think
Yeah.
that's what the conversations could turn into for the Minnesota Lynx, because there is, I think, a hint of that with the Commissioner's Cup. You were so
Mm.
dominant every game leading up to this, and then you get to the Commissioner's Cup and you score in the 50s, and you just like weren't really the Lynx that we thought you would be. Is that
Mhm.
is that who's gonna turn up, when the lights are bright and the pressure's on in the finals, in the playoffs?
Mhm.
So I think there is this idea that you have been the best team all season. We are expecting you to finish in first because you've been in
Mhm.
first all year. You've beat everybody there's needed to be beaten.
Yeah.
So when the circumstances change and, it's September, are you going to morph into a different team? Are you going to be able to keep that same energy that you
Yeah.
have all year long? And that's
Yeah.
kind of my thought process with Minnesota is there is pressure, and I wonder if it's just changed. Like at the beginning of the season, it was very much like, oh, it's Minnesota, it's done. Fee is MVP.
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, maybe Fee is an MVP. Okay, maybe it's on the Aces. Maybe it's on the Liberty to come and steal a championship. And how do they feel about that? Are you upset? Do you have a chip on your shoulder? How are you going to show up when it matters? And that's what the postseason is all about. You're going to see your true colors immediately, very, very soon.
Immediately. We're about to find out.
And when
Yeah.
we think about who they could potentially play and we talk about that Seattle Storm team, Seattle has been one of those teams that does not care that they are the first seed, and they have
Mhm.
beaten them multiple times.
Mhm.
And are you going to be shaking in your boots if you're the Lynx? Like, oh God, we got to play Seattle. They know they have our number. Or
Yep.
are you going to lay down the hammer and say, this is just a blip in the way to get to the finals? Like that is a mindset thing that I'm very
Yeah.
curious to see what comes out in the Lynx, if that made sense.
That's no, for sure. That definitely makes sense. I love that angle too. I always think like, okay, defending champs, they should always get the pressure. But I
Mm-hmm.
mean, when you are the number one team, like regular season, cool. But when it matters the most, now what? So I
Mm-hmm.
could see that. I don't think they'll hold that pressure with them, knowing that, like, oh, we're the number one team. I don't think that would matter to them. But like, as far as expectations go, of what we see for them, it should be you come out with the championship. So we'll see. If they do get Seattle, though, I was looking at all four of those games, and it's been close every single one. Lost by 5, game 1, by 10, game 2, and 4 points in game 3 and 4. So it's going to go
Ooh,
down to wire. This is another series I can see go to the best of 3.
I think
They
so
match up
too.
so well. Like
I know.
I love
That
this
would
matchup. Hmm.
that would
That would
be
be really
so
good.
fun. So fun.
I need
Which
it.
we don't typically get from a 1-8. Like that's
No.
kind of a throwaway
You're like, all right,
series.
2-0. Move
I
along.
know.
No,
Let's
I
move
don't think
on.
so.
I don't think that's
That
gonna be the
that side of the bracket in general, even the game we're
Godspeed.
possibly going to get in the semis, it's tough. Like that one, I'm like, okay, these are not just sweeps and we're going to keep moving. It's going to be a
Mm-mm.
challenge. I
Mm-mm.
would hate to be on the left side of the bracket.
On the right side of the bracket, though, if we, it could be Atlanta or Vegas for this 2 seed, but let's talk Vegas next because I think
Okay.
that also is in the realm and the theme of pressure. What
Okay.
has been going around right now is that currently in WNBA history, every team who has had at least a 15-game winning streak at some
Mm-hmm.
point in the season has won the championship.
Mm-hmm.
And you've seen the graphics, the carousels of what team and what year, and it's the Comets,
Yeah.
and then it's just a question mark next to the Las Vegas
Will they
Aces.
do it?
Will they do it? How much, I guess my question, how much is this winning streak going to help or hinder them? Like, is it putting extra pressure on them, or is it like we're able to ride this momentum
Oh,
into the playoffs for this Las Vegas Aces team?
I think they're riding it. I think if
Riding the wave.
anything, right, you want this win streak. I don't think they're looking like, oh, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think they're just thinking of like, yes, we finally got this thing to click into work. That's why we made the midseason trade we did with Nalissa Smith. That's why, Jewel Lloyd, as a leader, said, hey, put me on the bench. Let me be the spark coming off the bench so I can see and dissect the game. And Asia Wilson, obviously, she's been the steady force, but the other pieces have found their spots in their groove as well. Jackie Young has been another consistent piece to this puzzle that we don't talk about enough. But I think it's like, okay, y'all, like this is how we're supposed to be playing. I don't think they're playing technically with pressure if we're going to keep talking about pressure, because like they're not supposed to be here in a sense. Like they were 8
Yeah.
now at the 2-3 spot. Like
Mm-hmm.
they weren't. Actually, you know what? I changed that. They are supposed to be here in this moment because this is a team that has had the dynasty talk come up in recent years of what they were able to do. So the standard's a little bit different when it comes to Aces basketball.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to play to that expectation, that standard, coached by Becky Hammond, one of the best in the game to do it. They're supposed to be in this moment. I don't think they're looking at the number per se, but like the fact that they have everything clicking right now, that would be a confidence boost in my eyes.
For sure. And I'm looking here in our notes for the last 5 years. Like when we think about the last 5 seasons of the Aces in the playoffs, I think maybe sometimes this gets lost when we think about it. 2020, they were in the finals. They got swept by Seattle Storm. 2021, they reached the semifinals. 2022, they won the championship. 2023, they won the championship. 2024, they reached the semifinals. Like when we were talking at the beginning of the season that the Aces might not reach the playoffs, that's why it was so monumental. Like that's why it felt like the earth was shattering. Because look at what Asia Wilson, let's be real, what
Yeah.
Asia Wilson has been able to do in the postseason these past 5 years.
Right.
So when you think about this season and how it's kind of been a roller coaster and now they are going towards the top, I mean, if the trend continues, if it's a semifinals, that means it's a championship then
I
for
like
this
their path.
year.
I love their path, actually. Like, what? First of all, what do you mean in any world? What do you mean the Aces aren't going to be in the playoffs? Like that just wouldn't come out of my mouth so freely. Like, huh? So, but they got their act right for sure after the All-Star break. It's been fun to watch. But I think with their path alone, I would put this team in the finals easily. I would. The right
Easily.
side of the bracket isn't going to be easy. There's a lot of dark horses over there, but the way the Aces are playing and who they would potentially go up against, I like their path. I do.
Look, I'm not a betting woman. I like my money too much.
I love my money. I'm not a betting woman either. Like, I need all my coins.
But if I had one little coin to give, if I had a little $5 to bet, I'm not betting against Asia Wilson. Okay. I physically can't bet against her.
Ever.
And what I think it's going to take for them to get to the finals, Asia Wilson possesses alone, but it's going to be the rest of the starters, the rest of the people who have been here really throughout all of these last 5 years when we look at these different series and scenarios, to bring the other people along who have not been here. Because when you think about the Aces, it's very much the starters being like, we won championships, this is what we have to do. And then it's everyone else, Nalissa Smith, being like, whatever you need me to do, I'll fall in line because I want to be a champion. I want to go to the finals. It's Dana Evans. It's everyone coming off of the bench to play their role to say, what are my marching orders, Asia Wilson? Tell me what to do, and we will do that. And I think they're going to follow her lead for so many ways, but that is something that just has to happen for them to make it there. And I think they can. I truly do.
What can the others do? What can the role players, the supporting cast do to make Asia Wilson's life easier?
Yeah.
That's the theme of their run. How do you open things inside for Asia Wilson? How do you make sure she has more room to operate? If we are hitting shots down, knocking shots down, like that's going to open things up for Asia Wilson, because now what do you take away from our offense? And then on defense, you got to get some stops too. I mean, they are very vocal about that. But when it comes down to it, how do we make life easy for Asia Wilson? And I'm really interested also to see Cheyenne Parker-Tyus getting mixed into this formula.
Yes.
I think she is such a great player. She's had a lot of time here with the Atlanta Dream. So I've been able to see it up close and personal, how she works in high-low action, how she is naturally a 4, but can also play the 5. I think this is going to be a great tandem with Asia Wilson, but is it enough time in the system to really get her comfortable? That's just a natural thing in general, but she's joined this team as of the last game, and they're going to have some practice time going into the playoffs. What does it look like? I'm curious to see. Also, and that gives you depth in the front court.
Yeah.
That's just going to be perfect to get minutes, to get rest in a long series.
I can't believe she's back. She had her baby July 1st. That is wild and so, so incredible for her. That is a great point, that she will be in the mix and could be an X factor in the playoffs that we weren't even counting on a few months ago.
Right.
To be in the mix. Okay, let's take a break. And we can come back and talk about some of the other teams, some other lingering questions that we have. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show. And we are at the cusp, the beginnings of the playoffs, first round. Let's talk Atlanta Dream, a team you know very, very, very well, Autumn. My question that I had for them heading into the postseason: who will be that X factor? The player that will step up to move them past the first round. We're just talking about the first round.
Okay.
If they're all stars, which they have 3 of them on this team, if for some reason they're off or the scouting report is really to slow them down, who else is going to step up? Who do you think that would be?
To me, my eyes is Brittany Griner. And this is why you bring in this caliber player. Someone who has extensive playoff experience, has won a championship. And quite frankly, this 2 big lineup now more set. It's been more so like, okay, start Bree Jones and then have the attack of Brittany Griner come off the bench. So it's constant rotation of a dominant big. I love that winning formula that the Atlanta Dream has been able to create, and it's hard to stop. And how do you match up with 6'9"? Like, how do you really go against that presence in the paint? I really think that's going to help the Atlanta Dream take them to the edge when it comes to the right side of the bracket, because that could be your advantage point. So to me, this is why you bring in, Brittany Griner, and this is the moment, like, to take them to that next step. It's been a minute since the Atlanta Dream has been able to host a game, a playoff series.
Yes.
But also to make it out of the first round. I think this is where you find your edge. Make sure you're getting post touches. Bree Jones has been so consistent all season long. It's been fun to watch. I think she's an all WNBA caliber player. But having that extra punch of Brittany Griner, I want to see it. I want to see the anchor on both ends, on the defensive end, making shots hard in the paint. I want to see it all. So for me, it's Brittany Griner. I also look at Maya Caldwell. She's been phenomenal down this stretch as well. Coming in, reading the defense, seeing where she needs to be assertive in her spots and making the little hustle plays, taking charges, getting a bucket, getting a rebound, getting a block. Like, she's been doing the little things for this team that I think right at this time of the season, it's so necessary for the Dream.
Oh yeah. I feel like we got a glimpse of that in the Connecticut game on Wednesday. Brittany Griner scoring 17 points in 21 minutes was like, yeah. And I think it was that matchup between Tina Charles. You know, she just really taking that personally and really wanting to be a part of the team that way and contribute in that way.
Yep.
I totally agree with that. Maya Caldwell also has been amazing to watch. It's been so fun to see her effort plays turn into points, turn into stops. Like, it is a direct correlation of her extra efforts. You mentioned it's been a while since Atlanta has made it out of the first round of the playoffs. I'll do you one better. Since they've won a game in the first round of playoffs.
That
they
is
have
actually
been
very true.
swept in 2023 by the Wings.
Yep.
Yeah, if you're a new fan, the Wings were like good at one point. They like actually made it to the second round of the playoffs.
Welcome.
But that was many moons ago.
That's very true.
In 2024, they had, last year they had a 15-25 record and had a tough matchup with New York in that first round, and also were swept 0-2. So this is something that not only are they hit a franchise record of wins this year, you have your best players playing their best basketball, but like, if you just win your first game, it would be huge for the franchise and what you guys have been able to do. But I think the expectation, and correct me if I'm wrong, is to make it past the first round, not just to win a game, but to win a series, to keep this momentum and what you have been packaging all season long to keep that moving into the postseason.
1000%. Win a series is definitely on the books for the Lena Dream. And I feel like it's very possible, considering what they've been able to do this season under Carl Smezko. It has to be a full 40 minutes again. This team has been so dominant. They've been hot, having all of their players back at the right time. Health has been a huge thing for the Dream, yet they figure it out. However, I do feel like sometimes when it comes to certain quarters, specifically sometimes the third or fourth, there could be a drought. You can't have that. You can't have that in the playoffs, considering whoever you're going up against. It cannot be that. You know what I mean? So we'll see. I love the fact that Alicia Gray is back. She is healthy. She's on the floor. And Ryan Howard, it is Ryan time, and I'm living for it.
Aren't we all? What a time to be alive. I love
what
it.
What a time. She gets this different gear. She's a great, phenomenal, dominant player. But there's this different gear that competitors get in, and she's in that groove. She's in that mode, and I love to see it. Like, man, she's just tough.
And to her credit, I feel like in these past few years in the first round of the playoffs, we've been able to see that. Like, she has been able to turn that gear in the postseason. It just wasn't a lot of help around her to kind of get over the hump. Now she's in the gear and she has the help to be able to get over it. So I think that's what makes them extra scary. But a team that they might have to face, and a team that is not barely in the playoffs, but has a secure spot, which is one of my favorite storylines. Yes. The Golden State Valkyries will land in this bottom half of the playoffs somehow, but a team that nobody wants to face in this first round. Absolutely nobody. But my question for them is kind of not basketball related. It's the fact that they will not be in Chase Center, the place that has been touted all season long about a crazy place to play, having the fans. They've been selling out crowds. They had, a great record during their homestand. They're not going to play there. And we talked to Kendra Andrews about it, and that it was something that was just before the team was even thought of. There was a a plan in place to have a tennis tournament during this time. So they're going to have to play in San Jose, which is like, that just
Yeah.
takes away I just can't wait to see Chase Center at a playoffs. What?
Yeah.
And now we kind of don't get that. That home court advantage was really their
Huge.
sixth man. Like that is a huge part of them. So now that they don't have that, and they don't have home court advantage for the first game, so maybe you lose that first game, you come back, now you're in San Jose. Do you think that's going to change how maybe their first round could have played out if they were at home in their stadium?
It just might, Jordan. And I hate to say that, but it just might. I'm really happy that Kendra cleared that up, because I honestly did not know that. And I think a lot of people still don't know that. I've heard other pieces of like, dang, like, did they not expect them to get this far? Like, internally, how did you not know that your team could do this? But it's something that I've learned also from Kendra, that it was contracted a long time ago. So they have to meet those obligations. I really think that's so unfortunate, because it's another away game situation. Like, yes, your fans are going to show up, but even like the rims, like as a hooper, just having the comfortability of your own routine, your own home, you have to travel out, everything you need is in that building already, and now you have to go to another place, like another arena to compete in. It sucks.
I know. It's
It
just
truly
different.
sucks.
It will be different,
Everything
and
about
it's
it will be
not
different.
the advantage that you typically have.
No. And I think they're a team that can make it upset easily.
I know.
And that X factor, I've been in that for the home opener. I can only imagine how much the excitement has grown, because now they actually know the players, and they have a personal relationship with them. They've seen them on a regular basis. They show up. The first game for me coming in, I was like, it doesn't matter what. Like, if they're up and down, they play the Sparks, up or down, on a cold streak, they're cheering, they're on their feet, they're trying to figure out their chance and what their identity is for that six man. What do they bring? That's been figured out since then, and it has been their X factor. So to not have that in that building is tough. So right now it's like, all right, if we can get the upset, great, we'll have that advantage in the semis, but it just sucks overall to not have it from the jump.
I know.
It really sucks.
It would be interesting to have that as motivation. Like, if we do shock the world, at least we'll be able to come home to our fans in Chase Center to be able to play the next round there. But
yeah,
I think it's an uphill climb that after the season you've had, and I think that this whole thing of home court advantage, even for the top 4 seeds, is you're rewarded with that. It is a reward for doing so well. And I think that even this season, being able to do a 1-1-1 format, that's not how it was previous years. And you wouldn't even get a chance to go to your, if you weren't home court advantage, it wouldn't be able to go to the lower seed at all. Yeah. So now that has been implemented, and then to be like, dang, this is the year they implemented it, and this is the year we can't even take advantage of it. Right. That's tough. So I think it is going to play a bigger role in X's and O's. Natalie Nakase, I have a lot of faith. Like, I have so much faith in her scouting and her defense and what they're going to be able to cook up on the court. But I think this is a reminder that it's more than that. It is how the fans show up. It is where you're playing. It is home and away. All of that factors in when we talk about the playoffs. So I'm very curious how that's going to pan out. Show up for San Jose. Bay Area, San Jose, it's not close, but you could take the BART. You could take the train there. Show up for the Valkyries.
One thing about it, though, whatever challenge they've been dealt, I mean, you're right. They've executed. So, hey,
the receipts.
they can get through that.
You are right. It has
Mm-hmm.
been a season with a lot of adversity, and they have been able to overcome. You're right. So this could be a part of that. Speaking of adversity, the Indiana Fever are in the playoffs. And my question to you, Autumn, about this team as they somehow embark on their first round playoff stretch without Caitlin Clark, without Sydney Colson, without A. McDonald,
Oh
without Sophie
man.
Cunningham, without Chloe Bibby. The list goes on and on. Can Kelsey Mitchell turn into a literal superhero and move them past the first round to keep this Cinderella type story going?
You know, I feel like Kelsey Mitchell has had that cape on all season as their superhero.
It might have some
So
tears in it.
she's
Some
already a
rips.
yeah, for sure. She's already a superhero in my eyes, for sure. How she's been able to put this team on her back. But depending on who they go up against, I'm not sure if it will be enough. I will say Odyssey Sims has taken a lot of
Yes.
pressure off Kelsey. I
Mhm.
love that move. Shout out to Stephanie White for just keeping things afloat and bringing in the right personnel to go alongside those core pieces. Lexi Hole, Aaliyah Boston, Kelsey Mitchell have been the anchor of all
Mhm.
this madness. But it just solely depends on the matchup for the Indiana Fever in my eyes. This is a game that, or excuse me, a series that I feel like might go 2-0 when it comes to whoever they face. I think possibly this might be the series. I'm like, okay, it might not be the best of three that we want. Just because I'm like, all right, is it going to be enough? We saw they just took down the Minnesota Lynx, but Fee wasn't in that game. So I'm just wondering, is it going to be enough when it comes down to it? But I think when you look at Kelsey Mitchell and what she's been able to do this season and how Aaliyah Boston has supported that as well, I've loved their developing chemistry between each other. Natasha Howard too. I didn't even mention, a consistent anchor. We're going to see. But I think it won't be enough depending, because we're thinking either the Dream or it's going to be the Aces.
The Aces. I mean, tough either way.
Yeah.
Really tough matchups. Either way you flip it. And it's this thing that, if it's one game, I think I would have a different mindset about it. I'm like, maybe they could do it. But a series with how much energy and effort that Kelsey Mitchell has to burn in order for her team to be successful, or to, I just think about that 38 piece of how hard she had to work to bring her team back. Like, it's going to take a lot of energy and effort. And I think other people and maybe Fever fans might say, well, we won the Commissioner's Cup without Caitlin Clark. Like, we beat Minnesota there, and we, turned into super versions of ourselves then.
Got a series.
Right. I would say that's one game. Can you do it? Could you beat them two times in a row? The Aces or the Dream? Like, maybe even not even 2 times in a row. In a week. Can you beat them 2 times in a week is a lot to ask for not being at full strength. I think that's where it just gets tricky. But I think when we zoom out and we think about, in the next 5 years for this Fever team, we're going to see that this was the start of something great, and that they were able to make it to the playoffs in back-to-back years, which we haven't been able to say for a really long time. And so I think there is a lot of positives and solace that you can take in just getting here. And I think the expectations aren't to make it past this point. In that same breath, when we talk about home court advantage, Indiana gonna show up, and that they are going to be rocking. So maybe that can help them propel and move past. But to win multiple on the road it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be hard.
No, this isn't the season for the Indiana Fever with all the injuries that they've experienced. But I will say, when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, I feel like the playoffs will be a home from years on out
Yeah,
for the Indiana Fever. No
I
doubt
agree.
about it. They're going to be fine. This was just a part of their story that will be told for many years. But when they get their pieces back, and I also think they're a very attractive destination when it comes to free agency, I can only imagine the pieces they're going to pick up to keep building alongside of like the talent they already have.
Mm. I also feel like just this idea, once we get into next season or free agency, having season ending injuries, it feels very much like what if, and I
No.
think there's a lot of other teams where it's like, well, who knows who's going to be on the team next year. I can see a lot of these players coming back
Yeah.
because it was very much left a bad taste. Like it was
Yeah.
very much a, oh,
We didn't
what
get to
could
see
have
what we could
been.
do.
Yeah, so let's come back, let's run it back and see what would have happened if we
Mhm.
can actually all be together. So I can see them having a little more security that way
Mhm.
with some of the craziness that will be free
Yeah.
agency when a lot of teams are uncertain. I think that's going to be one of those things that can help them
Yeah. I think so
come
too.
into it. So the last team to make it in, the last team to talk about, we talked about the Seattle Storm a little bit up top. The question that I always have with the Seattle Storm is about consistency. Can this team build off of the momentum from that incredible win, 1 point win over the Valkyries to get
Mhm.
them into the playoffs? Can they rally, keep that energy going into the first round? Or is a different team going to show up? I guess that's the only other side of it.
You know, I'm an undercover Seattle Storm fan, so I
Yes,
hope
here's
they
your
bottle
chance.
everything up in that one game and take it with them. Even that game versus the when Seattle Storm faced the Minnesota Lynx, I really hope they can bottle that up too and take film from that.
Yeah.
16 threes was insane. 16 threes was just out of this world. And I think that just opens things up when you're knocking down shots, when the perimeter play comes to play, you open things up for Neko Ogwumike.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Obviously the X factor is Erica Wheeler, but I'm also looking at Ezzy McGabor for this matchup. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the rotation in the front court has to be there. It can't just be NECA. We've seen Dominique Malunga just have great signs of brilliance.
Yeah.
But Ezzy, we know what she brings. She's a huge presence down low for Seattle Storm. Like on the defensive end and offensive end. I just think that would take a lot of pressure off NECA.
Mm-hmm.
But I have seen great signs coming from the guard play. So, that extra punch, whoever you're facing in that side of the bracket, it's tough in the front court. So
Yeah.
how do you help NECA at all costs? So if we're looking on that side of the bracket, possibly Minnesota Lynx, you go up against V.
Mm-hmm.
And then you got the Mercury, that's possibly Alyssa Thomas, or
Mm-hmm.
New York Liberty, that's Stewie, that's JJ. So I just feel like, to me, the front court's going to be so important when you look at the Seattle Storm.
That is such a good point because I think we put a lot of emphasis on the guards, and especially
Mhm.
with Brittany Sykes coming in. But when you really get down to it, it might be their bigs that
Mhm.
win them the game. If they do get a win, if they do make it past, you have to ask that question: who would be the reason for that?
Yeah.
It would be their front court turning up, and I just have to shout out Dominique Malonga because
Yes.
I went on a stream early in the year and I was like, Dom, she just looks so young and maybe years down the line, but man, even
Growing
in
up
their
before our eyes.
last regular season game, how she was running the break herself. I'm
Hmm.
like, oh my goodness. Like, we
She looks
should
comfortable.
be terrified for the
Yeah.
future. And this is all in year one. Like, I just got so excited to see what she can do. How awesome for her when you think about a growth standpoint that she is going to be able to get a taste of the playoffs, even if it
Hmm.
is barely getting in. You know, we talk a lot about how this season might be a disappointment from vets like a Skylar, a NECA, who we just thought they would be higher up. But you
Hmm.
have a number 2 pick in Dom Malanga being like, I get to experience the playoffs first year, and I've grown my game exponentially throughout this one season.
Hmm.
This is going to help her for years to come. And that's what gets me just so pumped. She's so athletic. She is getting second chance buckets. She can out jump everybody. She is like the future of basketball to me, and I just get pumped when I see her play. Man,
The future is in great hands. I'm a
great
huge
hands.
Dom fan. I love her upside. I love what she brings. I feel like she's been growing up before our eyes every single game, every single possession. It's just like, okay,
Yeah. Yeah.
all right, all right. I see you. Like in the blueprint, who gets to say like they get to learn from Neko Ogumake in their first
Mm-hmm.
year and Ezzy McMcGlure? Like the bigs that you have that kind of like resemble your game in a sense. I love that for her. I love the fact that she gets to ask questions and soak knowledge up from them. In general, I would hate to play up against the Seattle Storm.
Yeah.
As a
I
low
know.
seed, they shouldn't be there. They have the personnel, they have the vets, they have the pieces in that locker room. It just hasn't delivered. They haven't executed. It's been two different teams that we've seen throughout the course of this season. You could want it real bad, but that want hasn't translated into wins. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I think playoff basketball is going to show us a lot, but if anything, in my eyes, they shouldn't be that low. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be terrified if I went up against the Seattle Storm. They match up so well against anybody because of their length. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's scary to go up against for sure.
I love what you said. That want hasn't turned into wins, but we did see that want in the last regular season game, that desperation of
Mm,
needing to win, and that turned
desperation.
into a win. And
Yes.
that's what we are expecting to
Yeah.
see in the playoffs, because you can shake things up. You have an opportunity to come in and blow up the whole bracket, but
Hmm.
you have to want it, and then it has to turn into wins.
Yep.
And that is something we've had glimpses of. Can it happen consistently?
Yeah.
Even if somehow by a miracle you make it past the first round, you're going to have to consistently keep doing it against either a Phoenix or a New York Liberty. Like, that is hard to do and a hard task, but that's the question. Side note about Dominique Malanga, the French women's basketball players are really good. That was probably one of my biggest takeaways from this
1000%.
season. Like, what? I mean, we
Yes.
saw at the Olympics, they came very close to the USA, but I just think as an overall theme, like Layla Lacan from Connecticut's been balling out. We know Gabby Williams, Dom Malanga, Maureen Johannes, Rupert with the Valkyries,
Woo. Yes.
Salon with the Valkyries. I'm like,
In
wait a
general,
second.
it's on
Carla
the
Late with
NBA.
the
Yeah,
Valkyries?
yeah. It's on the NBA side too. Like
Dang,
France is
France.
different. Yeah.
I see you. Like,
We all see you.
this WNBA season really put French women's basketball on the
Fact.
map of all of the talent that they have, for sure.
Yeah.
But whew, okay, I just had to get that out there because
No, I
we
love
were talking
that.
about Dom.
Expansion's coming up too, so we'll
I know.
see more international players
Yeah.
perhaps
Yeah,
join
we
the league
will.
and shake things up. We'll see.
Yes. We'll see. Okay, the first round of the playoffs is here. Autumn.
Woo!
Sunday, September 14th. It
Let's
all
go.
begins. Best of 3, 1-1-1 format. Then game 2 is on Tuesday and Wednesday. Game 3s, if necessary, Thursday and Friday. Here we go.
Here we are.
Here
Wow.
we go.
What a journey. But here we are. I'm actually nervous. When I get nervous, I laugh and I smile. So I'm actually very nervous. I don't
We're
know what's gonna happen.
terrified.
Yeah. This is how I go. But it's not clear and cut. Like, I have no idea. If you ask me to fill out a bracket, like, I can't do it.
If you can't, our bracketologist, like, that is literally a part of who you are.
Whole identity.
Then we're all screwed.
I can't do it. No, I just don't know. The parody is insane.
Yeah,
we're gonna
it
get
is.
some crazy matchups though, so I live for it. I'm excited.
Can't wait. Well, the last games of the regular season are tonight. By the time this airs, we will have the seeding. We will know how it all shakes out. We'll see if different teams can play spoilers for the standings. I love that it's going down to the very, very last day. That just makes it super exciting. But it's this weekend. It's up. Hopefully this got you prepared, excited, asking some questions about your favorite team. Hopefully we could answer some of them. Yeah, that's what we got for you. And hopefully it's fun. We're not done yet because on the other side of the break is a very, very special extra treat bonus content for you guys. But Autumn, thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome back to the Women's Hoop Show, and I have teased it all episode long. A very special treat. I have a very special interview with my mom, who is a huge PaigeBueckers fan, and she also went to her very first Valkyries game. And I know we talked a lot about two things. One, the Valkyries and their home court advantage, so you'll get to hear from her perspective. But then two, about the teams who are in the playoffs and not a lot about the teams who didn't make the playoffs, aka the Dallas Wings and PaigeBueckers. So here's my mom. Hope you enjoy.
I'm Jordan Liggins Robinson's mom, and my name is LaShawn Liggins, and I gave birth to this beautiful person.
All right. Lovely. More about your fandom. And you are, would you say that you are PaigeBueckers' number one fan?
Number one. I'm it. Oh my gosh. So I can go?
Yeah, go for it. You've been holding this in. I just want to say, let's set the scene a little bit, Mom, because I think people need to understand. You had this game circled when the Dallas Wings came to the Golden State Valkyries, the Bay Area. The Valkyries is the closest WNBA team to you, so you were ecstatic whenever Paige was coming to town. You circled all the dates. You had this game, September 4th, circled. You bought your tickets. You had your PaigeBueckers shirt that I bought for you as a Mother's Day gift. And you guys were there so early that what happened? They didn't even allow you guys to park yet?
The parking garage wasn't even open. So we left at 1. And the game start time was 7.
Okay. It's a little early. Wait, actually, no, let's back up to the day before when you text me in a panic thinking that she wasn't even going to play because you asked Google, is PaigeBueckers playing basketball tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
And the AI companion said, no, she's not. And that is not a trusted source. So we're going to have a whole nother conversation about AI. But I looked at the injury report. She was not on the injury report, and she was playing. You thought you were on the verge of tears. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh, yes. I was so sad. Oh, my heart dropped. I thought, this can't be happening. She has to see me. I have to see her.
She's not gonna see you. Okay. Now you make it to game day. You and my dad, who I call Poppy, were there too early. What time did you get there?
3:30.
Okay. And the game time was 7 p.m.
3:30. And I didn't know they don't let people in the stadium until 5:30. So you can't park until 4:30 and you can't actually get in until 5:30, 5:45. And so we had dinner. We went to dinner, but we were in the VIP Mercedes-Benz parking garage because Poppy did not want Aunt Charlene to do any walking.
Okay.
So we parked in this garage. You get in the elevator, you come up, and you're in the middle of it.
Wow. So you guys got the VIP service. I think you were actually there before the players. I don't think the players were even there yet.
You think I was there before her?
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe they were getting treatment, but that probably doesn't start until 5:30.
Really? Wow. So, Jordan, I'm walking around with my Dallas shirt. It was so cold in San Francisco. It was very chilly. Had my sandals on because I'm from Sacramento. I'm not wearing my toes in August. And I have my PaigeBueckers shirt, number 5, and I'm walking around. And one lady said, "Did you fly in for the game today?"
Thinking you're from Dallas.
Thinking I'm from Dallas.
Oh
And
gosh.
I said, no. But then I found my group of everybody with my PaigeBueckers shirt. Yeah.
Okay, so it was a section. I was wondering. I was like, this
It was,
is the Golden State This is Valhalla. They ride for their violet. Were you gonna
yes.
stick out in your Dallas shirt? But you found your people.
I found them. And Jordan, our seats were right where she comes out.
Mm.
Jordan, it was electrifying. It
Mm.
was electrifying. It was so much noise. I was plugging my ears when your dad was yelling at me, "Oh, it's getting ready to happen now." I said, "I can't even hear you." And we were, oh man, the first start of the game, the Wings had 7-0. Oh, I was pumped. I was like, here we go. They led most of the game. It kept being a tie, but they led most of the game. And wow, what a game.
Yeah, it
All
was
the
a good
way
game
to
to go to. Yeah.
wasn't it? Oh,
Mhm.
yes. She knew I was there. Ponytail knew I was there.
Okay, who's Ponytail? You have to tell the people they don't know.
Okay. I don't even think I know.
You don't know her name. It's Kate Martin.
Okay.
Kate
People
Martin
were,
is Ponytail. That you call her that. Why?
because she has the cutest ponytail in college. I don't know how she'd braid it, and she would just make this ponytail just swing when she played basketball. It was so cute. And I just named her Ponytail. And what a game she had.
Mhm.
Wow.
I love this analysis. This is really good. I also wanted to know because the Golden State Valkyries, as you know, is the newest expansion team. They are the best expansion team in the history of the W in their first season. And
Yes.
so this was a big game because not only were because you were going to see Paige and they needed to win, but also because if they won, they clinched the playoffs and
And
they would have been the first team to clinch a playoff as an expansion team in the first season. So did you feel that excitement there as well? Did they keep talking
oh,
about it while they were
oh,
there? Okay.
oh, yes. And I thought I might, have a little soft spot for them because they're in 6. I mean, Paige is in last.
Not sixth. Yeah. Bottom of the
And
barrel. Sorry, mom.
and so I kept thinking, wow, last place team could knock them out.
Mhm.
And Aunt Charlene the whole game kept saying that would be horrible. She said that would be horrible. So she said, let me just sit back and just have faith in the Valkyries. And so then when Ponytail would make her point or her 3, I cheer for them because I thought, this is history.
Mhm.
This is going to be history. But then they'd show Paige and she was locked in. She wanted to win. And they were leading Jordan majority of the game. I'm pretty sure you're going to fact check this and look it up and make sure I'm right. But it was at one point they had 72, something like that. And it was getting close to the fourth quarter, but their pattern with Dallas Wings, he'd take her out like 1 minute, at the end of the quarter, so she
Mhm.
could get her breather and so she could, be ready. And so the Valkyries were losing. And I'm not trying to dictate and tell you the game, because I'm not a
I love
commentator.
hearing the game from your perspective. This is
And
good.
I'm not a commentator or anything, but I'm just trying to share with you what I felt and the energy in that building. And Jordan is fourth quarter, and the star Paige goes out. It's a minute and something in the fourth quarter, and she goes out. And I say in my voice to the people around me, because we're winning, the Wings are winning, right? I said, she's taking her breather. If you're going to do something, this is the time you got to do it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And they made 6 points.
Okay.
She
They
wasn't
closed the
even
gap.
she wasn't even on the bench sitting down, and somebody got the ball. I was like, uh-oh. She got her water, wiped her face, and had to come back in.
That is the gist, the summation of the Dallas Wings season. They can't do anything without Paige. But I think the thing with Paige is that, Sue Bird, who is a legendary WNBA player, just got inducted to the Hall of Fame. She said, I go to WNBA games for free all the time.
Uh-huh.
But PaigeBueckers is someone I would pay money for. I would pay money to watch. Like she's that good. So even though you've been a fan from afar and you've watched her at UConn, seeing her in person, and you paid a pretty penny for those tickets too. That was not cheap to
Right.
go there. Was she
Right.
worth the price of admission, seeing her in person?
Every dime.
Mm.
Every single dime. And Jordan, I think she's taller in person.
Yeah, she's pretty tall. I think people underestimate how tall she is.
She is pretty tall. And not only is she tall, she's more beautiful in person too.
You
She's
know.
a beautiful young lady. but she's tall. Watching her out there, and yeah, yeah, she'd lean over and then she'd go talk to the ref, and the ref was down here. And the Valkyries coach is down here. She's
Yeah,
short.
Natalie Nakase is really, really tiny.
Yeah, so all those people made Paige look even taller, but I
Yeah.
just I just love, I mean, I don't even know if she has any idea how many people. There were two Yukon people 2 rows ahead of us, and I had my coat on because I was cold, but I had on all blue and white. And so I stood out because everybody else had on lavender, purple, and everything. And then I finally took my coat off and I just couldn't hold it in. I had to cheer every time she did something. And the guy behind me was just making it hilarious because he said, oh, Paige getting ready to take over the game. Those 6 points here she come, and then just told me how good of a fan I was after the game, because me and Poppy were hilarious. Paige missed a shot. What? I can't really. What'd you say?
You were such a homer for Paige. She can do no wrong. But
No
I mean,
wrong.
she finished with 27 points in 34 minutes. So that was a very, very good game for her. I'm glad she showed out for you. And this idea that like this is her first year, so you're gonna be able to cheer her on for many years to come. But I was also going to ask, because I don't think I know this, when was your last WNBA game? When was the last time you've been to a WNBA game? Can you remember?
That's a good question. I don't remember the date, but I know that you were like 7.
That's a long time ago. That was the
And
point I was trying to make.
and it was the Monarchs, and they
Yes.
were the same color,
Mm-hmm.
and you stood in line and got somebody's autograph.
Tisha Penichero, my favorite player.
Yes. So that's the last time, and there were not half as many people there
No,
as
I
it was
wanted
last
to say
night.
that because it's there, and I know that at Valkyrie games, because I watch them on League Pass, there's a moment during the game where the arena announcer says, okay, we're gonna do a roll call. Where is everybody from? And she says, who's from Sacramento, the Central Valley? And people are cheering. Who's from San Francisco? Who's from the Bay Area? And it's like Northern California's team,
Yes,
because we had the Sacramento Monarchs and they were
right,
taken away from us. So
right.
I love that now you can reignite your WNBA fandom. Yes, it's a couple hours away, but when your favorite comes to town, or you guys could go back for a playoff game, like you have that ability to. So what does that mean to you to kind of be a part of the WNBA again?
Oh, it feels great because it's tripled. It's so many fans now. It's so exciting. I mean, the energy in that room. You thought you were at an NBA game, but you weren't. You were watching women. And this is lovely. This is lovely. For this to take off like this, San Francisco may have made a move. They're
Mhm.
going to the playoffs for the first time.
I know. It's really exciting.
You may multiply your fan base.
And it was already sold out because they have sold out almost every home game this season.
Wow. Really?
hmm It was a lot of people there. Poppy sent me the video. I mean, it was a sellout all the way to the rafters, and they have done that almost every home game this
Oh,
season.
so we probably won't be able to get in for playoffs.
I mean, try. Could still be fun.
Wow.
Could still be fun.
Wow. Look at that.
I'm so happy you saw Paige, and I will say on the record that one of my biggest professional regrets was that when I was on the orange carpet and I was interviewing Paige and you were watching at home live, very close to the TV, taking pictures of me and Paige together and then sending them to me. We have proof of that. But I forgot to ask her to say hi to you on the microphone, and I am so sorry about that. But I'm going to have another chance. So we're going to get some redemption there. So she'll say hi.
And Jordan, now that I know you're going to do that, I'm okay with that. I would have fainted. Right there in our great room. Oh my, if she would have said, "Oh, hi, number one fan, Jordan's mom," I would have just.
Oh my gosh. Your fandom is so funny.
I was so close to her. I was right there.
That's what it's about. I think that's why I wanted to have you on, Mom, because I think sometimes, especially for me, who can, I'm in this world so much. Right. And I'm covering it from a media perspective. But it started because I was a fan standing in line for my favorite player, Tisha Pinachero, because I almost fainted when she signed my jersey. And it started with that fandom. And I just love how you have been getting way more into the WNBA this year and these past couple years, of course. But now that you have something tangible with Paige, you have a team, you have a player, and you are just more involved. And that's where that's the root of sports. And that's what makes it so exciting. So I'm really happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm really proud of you because you called me right after the game at like 9:30 at night because you were so excited to tell me about it. And you held it in all day to do this for the recording. So thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for having me. This was an honor to be able to be on your show and talk about something that I'm starting to really enjoy watching WNBA basketball. And I think you have like this much to do with it.
Like 90% of it. Thank you. I'm glad Paige can come in and really seal the deal, but I've just been working here for 7 years. It's all right. I'm glad you're finally getting in now. Love you, Mom.
I love you too. Thank you again for having me.
Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to follow on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an update. Your support means the world. And if you're feeling generous, leaving a quick rating or review helps more Hoops fans discover the show. And you can now see us on our brand new YouTube channel. Make sure to like and subscribe there. Shoot us an email at womenshoops@odyssey.com to tell us what's on your mind. We want to hear your hottest takes, your burning questions, and all your feelings about all things women's hoops. We just might feature your note on the show. That's womenshoops@odyssey.com. The Women's Hoop Show is an Odyssey original podcast hosted by me, Jordan Robinson. Today, our co-host was Autumn Johnson. Our producer is Phil Switek. Our video team is led by Kurt Courtney and includes Tim Meikle, Evan Cox, Allison Jeffrey, and Lauren Vieira. Our executive producers are Greg Holtzman, Asha Saluja, Danny Freisinger, Maddie Sprunkeiser, and Leah Reese-Dennis. And special thanks to Moira Curran and Josephina Francis.